My name is Carmen. Today we have a reading for you about somebody who struggles with being faithful. We have the third party card referencing an outside party interfering in a relationship, and we also have the lust card. So there is flirtatious energy, someone who enjoys attention. This could be a person that you're considering getting into a relationship with, or this could even be like a close friend of yours that maybe is causing a lot of drama because they like to pursue people that are in a relationship. But there is a lack of fidelity in this reading. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box along with more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. And you can also find my Etsy shop if you're interested in a homemade soy candle. That is also in the description box. So let's start off. I think we're going to begin with the Pulp Tarot. What else do we have, please? Ten of Wands and the Lovers in the reverse. Desire to be in a committed relationship or feel like someone is, really just focused on you. But with the Lovers in the reverse, there's either incompatibility or a refusal to make a decision. So I can't commit to you because there's too many other people I'm interested in, or even worse, saying I've chosen you, but still being interested in meeting new people. What else do we have? Justice in the reverse and the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands can be a card that is a bit phallic, indicating a focus on physical intimacy. And with Justice in the reverse, again, could be about not wanting to make a choice or somebody justifying their decisions even though they are against the morals or promises perhaps that they've made. Hello, Landu, how are you doing? Hello, Trevor, how are you? Hello, Huns, what's up? So, King of Cups and the Tower, this is somebody who is, I feel like the King of Cups would be you. That does not mean that you have to be a man, but the King of Cups is someone who has emotional maturity or emotional availability. And with the Tower, there is some significant change or perhaps a discovery of some infidelity or some question mark as to whether or not you can actually trust this person. Hello, Hans. This is a tarot reading, so sit back and enjoy. It may resonate for you, it may not. But just keep in mind that if you're not respectful, I do like to play whack-a-mole, and you might be putting a timeout. So I don't know what you mean by fun, but this is fun for me. What else do we have? The Hanged Man is joined by the Queen of Wands. Okay, so this is that attraction, right? That physical chemistry, but there's no depth. There's no emotional interest or like a spiritual connection. It's just, I think you're physically attractive. So, what else? Seven of Swords in the reverse, Three of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. I think I'm reading for whoever this King of Cups is, an individual that is realizing maybe I need to be honest about the kind of person that I'm dealing with. I might be interested in a long-term relationship or monogamy, but it seems like this person that I'm dealing with is not interested in that, or they lie about being interested in that, right? So you're evaluating whether or not to deal with this person. Probably because you're a little bit frustrated. Hello, Llama. How are you doing? Hello, science fiction. Hello, this is Gotham. The cross is sentimental for me because it is cut from a pew that was in my grandparents' church. Hello, Clifford. How are you? Hello, Godfather. I hope you're having a good day. Knight of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. I think you realize that you could have a happy connection with this person if they were more emotionally available or mature, but this is not someone that you could change, or this is someone who's not approaching the connection with you in the way that you like. They're distracted. They're thinking about other people or getting other attention. Hello, Monroe. How are you doing? I hope you are as well, Clifford. Hello, Yogita. Hello, Kanga. How are you doing? Judgment in the reverse. Emperor and the King of Wands. You know, it could be that this is someone who is not yet at the point where, like, you could wait a couple years and maybe this individual would be better equipped to have a monogamous or a committed relationship. But I also don't know that you should ever wait a couple years for somebody to get that out of their system. Because you do see that there is a lot in common, or there is a lot of compatibility between the two of you, aside from that issue of whether or not you can be faithful. The issue here is if they can get distracted so easily by their lustful thoughts, then you're really just potentially signing up for heartbreak, trying to date somebody who isn't really interested in monogamy. Hello, Urban Walker. How are you doing? Hello, Godfather. Feel free to watch. You'll figure it out. Hello, Shadow Angel. Thank you for the sparkles. So we have the Ten of Rings, which is the Ten of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and the Chariot in the reverse. So if you are this King of Cups, again, doesn't have to be a man, then it looks to me like you're figuring out this is someone who is not capable of being faithful, and therefore it's time to have that conversation. Hey, Yogita, that is super disrespectful. I'm putting you in a 30-minute timeout. If you come back to my live chat and you spam it with your request for a free reading, I will block you permanently. I actually do free readings every now and then, but the last person I would do a reading like that for is someone who goes boom, 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 and blocks up the live chat like that, okay? Don't do that. It's disrespectful. Hello, Jay. What's up? I hope you're having a good day. So this Chariot in the reverse is indicative of not really feeling like there's a way to connect with this person and feel like you can trust them because their head gets turned. They get distracted. And quite frankly, you know you deserve better than that. We have the Empress in the reverse, most likely because we have someone who struggles with the concept of emotional intimacy. To them, they may feel like physical intimacy is the only kind of intimacy they need. But it's empty. It's not going to provide stability. And even if they feel like it helps them to feel good about themselves or improve their confidence, it's still an empty validation. It's not based on something of substance. So we have the Queen of Swords, the Five of Rings, or the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. This is also your energy, which is why I say the King of Cups doesn't mean you have to be a man. The Queen of Swords is a card that talks about boundaries and respect for yourself. So I see you, either you've already distanced yourself from this person, or you're choosing to do so in the near future, because you acknowledge that if you try to chase somebody like this who is not interested in being faithful, it really just means that you're guaranteeing some sort of heartbreak. Hello, Koi. How are you doing? Hello, Monroe. Hello, Grish. If you have a question, please put it in a super chat. I deal with those after the general reading, which would be in about 24 minutes. Hello, Rick. How are you doing? Rick, please call me Carmen. I'm going to delete your comment. You want to try it one more time for me and say, hello, Carmen? We've had this conversation. Hello, Llama. You sure can. And I'm deleting your comment, Girish, because you are putting personal information in there. And if you would like me to answer your question, you can pop it into a super chat, okay? All right, what else do we have? Another King of Cups, Seven of Wands, and the King of Rings or King of Pentacles in the reverse. You have love and affection and a compassionate nature to offer a partnership, and to not get that energy back in that relationship is a waste of your energy, the beautiful energy that you have to share. So with the Seven of Wands, I see you protecting your own energy from this untrustworthy person, King of Pentacles in the reverse, and walking away. Magician in the reverse, Temperance, and the King of Wands in the reverse. Wow. The thing is, they like to pretend that they're interested in something serious because they feel like it gets them greater access to individuals that they find attractive. So they are completely comfortable lying about whether or not they want a monogamous relationship, but they're not interested in that. With Temperance, your intuition has figured out that you are better off on your own, not dealing with somebody who is a garden tool. Hello, Tariq. Please call me Carmen. Kanga, you're funny. Hello, Natina. How are you doing? We have the Page of Wands in the reverse and the Lovers in the reverse. Yeah, I see you letting go of this connection and acknowledging that you cannot change this person. If they are set on being naked with as many people as possible, you just have to like kind of get out of the way, right? It's not worth chasing somebody who is unwilling to give you that monogamous, exclusive relationship, because if you're dating with intention and they are not, it's just a recipe for disaster, right? Hello, BMF. How are you doing today? This is the Witch's Tarot. Tariq, I'm going to delete your question because it doesn't matter. I'm not here to date anyone, okay? All right, what else do we have? We have the Ten of Wands in the reverse and the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles or the Prince of Pentacles. So there's some time that passes. You tell this person you're not interested in dating them anymore, and the King of Cups, probably you, is on a different path. There's communication that reaches you. Maybe it's on social media, maybe a friend of yours gives you an update, but I feel like it is giving you insight into what has happened with the person you walked away from. The King of Wands in the reverse, King of Pentacles in the reverse, the person who couldn't commit. Thank you, Llama. Let me add that for you. Is OD still thinking about marriage or not? his feelings. And he asked me before for that as hidden relationship, and then there is no connection. So he pursued a hidden relationship? No connection. I've added that for you. Thank you, Llama. And I'll start those in a little under 20 minutes. Thank you, Clifford. You as well. Oh, hello, Legendary One. How are you doing? So Tariq, if you can see how Llama added a super chat, that's how you get on the list. What else do we have? Two of Cups, Five of Cups, and the Fool in the reverse. Interesting. Okay. So after having a rather flirtatious or it's like hot girl summer, right? After having an emphasis on quantity over quality, dating as many people as they could, focusing on people who do not require monogamy, or, at least pretending that that's only pretending that's something they want, but they really don't. Now we have this individual from your past regretting how they acted with you. What does that mean? How are they regretful about this? We have the Three of Swords and the Hermit. This is someone who wishes that they had pursued something with you, but it is like time has passed. Maybe it's been 3 months, maybe it's been 3 years, but this is not a super recent situation. And now they're thinking back on the energy that you brought to the relationship or to the connection. And I feel like they're stuck with someone else. Seven of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. So they might have continued, a bachelor or like a super flirtatious type lifestyle. They might have been, on 7 different dates in a week. Something happened here, and it might be an unplanned pregnancy, or it might be someone who gets really obsessed with them. But it's got them thinking about how you approached them respectfully, about how you also respected yourself. What else do we have? Three of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. I feel like this person ended up in a relationship. Maybe you have as well. But I think this is someone who was not faithful and they somehow end up in a relationship. Maybe they were a bit codependent. Maybe they needed to have someone to live with. But they're thinking back on the connection that they had with you and frustrated that you were so quick to remove yourself from the situation. Queen of Pentacles and the Star. They view you as the kind of person that they would want to be in a relationship with. Like you're the kind of person who brightens up the room, inspires them to be a better person. How do they get stuck though? That's what we need to figure out. What should we go for? This is the Cats Rule the Earth Tarot. Did I say hello to BMF? Hello. What else do we have? Why is this person feeling stuck now? Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, Queen of Swords in the reverse. I think there's someone who's causing a lot of drama for them. So even though you walked away with your self-respect intact, you saw the writing on the wall. You knew this person was not capable of being in a committed relationship and respecting that. They're thinking about you because you handled rejection or you handled that situation with class, and they have made someone feel cheated on, even if they weren't in a relationship, who is going a bit overboard trying to teach this person a lesson. Nine of Pentacles. So you're getting an update on someone who was clearly not relationship material. And the update is they're embroiled in some pretty serious drama with an unhealed individual. Someone who has lost their mind or is having a pretty big reaction to not being the only one they want to be with. And what does that mean? We have the Eight of Wands. So there's a lot of gossip or even like a scandal around this situation. You told me that you were in love with me, or you told me that, we could live together. You gave me this, romantic line and I fell for it. And now I can see that you're just like faking. You're just pretending. So they effectively are like basically teaching themselves a lesson. They thought that they were super successful at being a player, but they've run into someone who is making their life much more complicated. I do feel like this is someone who is catfishing them. So a jealous, possessive partner. I don't know that they're in an exclusive relationship, but I do feel like this is like some stalking or some obsessive energy. With the Three of Pentacles, the fact that there's three identical cats, I do feel like this is, I've created three different profiles and I'm hiding who I am. I don't want to be honest about that because the goal of those profiles is to figure out whether or not you're a cheater, whether or not you are for the streets. Hello, Mac. How are you doing? Yes, I would agree that accountability is not their forte. Two of Wands in the reverse and Empress. Okay. I do feel like there is a pretty strong possibility that we have an unplanned pregnancy. And this leads someone to feel pretty possessive or protective over that connection, or even expecting more time, or maybe even feeling like I should know how you're spending your money. And this is someone who's saying, I should have known better than to pursue something with you. There could even be some element of baby trapping here. But things have gotten a bit crazy for this individual, in part because they were really trying to add notches to the bedpost. That was the main goal. Five of Cups in the reverse, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't interested in this, but I don't have any way out of it. I just want to be very clear. When I have readings like this, it's important to remember that the gender on the cards is just energy that I'm reading, okay? It's just as easy for a woman to be a garden tool as it is for a man. And this reading could apply to anyone. But there is a person who was not expecting to create a life, and I feel that they have. Hello, Burton. How are you doing? I hope you're enjoying your weekend. What does Victoria think about me after our call? I've added that for you. Thank you, Burton. Yep. It happens. What else, please? King of Swords, Seven of Wands, Six of Swords. This was meant to happen to kind of slow this person down. Like, hey, it's actually really important for you to be more selective or discerning in who you do that energy exchange with and who you are having that naked time with. And if you're not willing to have, protection involved, there's going to be issues, right? Where there's going to be that risk of unplanned pregnancy. With the Six of Swords, they're thinking back on what things were like when they were dealing with you. And it's almost like if things were to get to this point where I was stuck in a relationship, I would have preferred that it be with somebody like you. Because they think they have basically gotten stuck by someone who is as toxic as they are. Not my words. I mean, I know I'm the one who said it, but they feel like they've been bested by somebody. Eight of Swords and Justice. And the universe is like, that's just like what happens though. It's a numbers game. So this is their karma. They were trying to be manipulative in their pursuits, right? By lying about, oh, sure, I might be interested in a long-term relationship, or yeah, I'm interested in monogamy. And now they've met somebody who is also capable of lying to them. And as a result, that physical intimacy had consequences. I say that because I don't really like to refer to a baby that way, but they wanted to have the fun without the responsibility, and now they have the responsibility without the fun. So we have the Four of Swords, someone who feels like they are unable to go out and have fun. They have restrictions, they have rules, they have bills they have to pay. Hey, Prasunda, do you want to explain what you mean by that? Hello, Ankush. Hello, Rick. How are you doing? We've got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the Three of Swords in the reverse. With the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. So they don't want to put forth all this effort. They didn't want to fall in love with anybody. They didn't want anybody to be able to keep track of them or have any kind of claim to them. But no. It's the logical conclusion if you're going to be out here having tons of naked time. All right, you don't want to answer me, I shall remove. Hello, Jamaica, how are you doing? Hello, Boquito. Please call me Carmen. I don't like being called baby, okay? Death in the reverse. And 10 of Wands. So they thought it would be difficult to be in a romantic relationship, committed romantic relationship. They wanted to be able to bounce from person to person. And now they're busy. It's a lot more challenging for them to live that lifestyle because they have responsibilities. This is the Gilded Reverie. What else do we have, please? The Scythe, number 10. This talks about cutting someone out of your life. Labyrinth, and the magnifying glass. So you ended things with this person, or you walked away because you realized you couldn't trust them. Some time has passed and they found themselves, some new people to get naked with. And you're hearing gossip or some sort of update is posted to social media, and it lets you know that this person who didn't really know how to approach love is now a parent. So that garden card talks about community. There is a public energy with that card. And this is the man without a shirt, indicating somebody who likes to have naked time. Somebody who does not seem to be fit for that committed relationship lifestyle, but now they're feeling trapped. They're feeling like they no longer have the ability to pursue uh, unserious connections. They feel like now they have someone who has control over them to some extent. This is the Casanova Oracle. What else do we have, please? Loneliness. So I fooled around too much, and now I have responsibilities, and now I can't go on dates. That's what they're upset about. In their loneliness, they're thinking about you. Gosh, if I had to choose someone to be stuck with, it would have been you, not the person I did get stuck with. Because you knew how to treat me. You knew how to be respectful of yourself. They actually enjoyed your company. It wasn't just that they wanted to have that physical intimacy. And now they feel like they're stuck with somebody and they don't have anything in common with this person. So we've got indulgence. Sorry, YouTube doesn't like the nudity. But because they were too indulgent in those physical desires, now we have an issue. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing? Pleasantries. I think you're going to run into this person, or they're going to hit you up on social media, and their goal is to talk about the good old days, to reminisce with you, and kind of escape the current situation that they wish they were not stuck dealing with. Because they don't like the person that this happened with. They feel like this person is toxic or possessive, and they liked your personality a lot better. They view you as an earth angel. Hello, Luke. How are you doing? Karmic partner. This is who they feel they're stuck with. They were playing games, and I guess now they feel played. I hope I can reach you before it's too late. They're still hoping there's a chance they could be with you, now that maybe they don't feel like they can be a player. These karmics are 2s and 3s, and you're the one. New divine connection coming soon. If you are not already in a happy relationship, it's around the corner. And they know that you're the type of person to attract love. And it's only a matter of time before you get scooped up. Please don't go. Won't you wait for me? Oh, that sounds nice, Luke. Hiding my emotions and feelings for you. I didn't want a committed relationship back when we were seeing each other, but now that I don't have the ability to be a massive flirt or a garden tool. I keep thinking back on the time that we spent together, and I know that we are supposed to be together. I regret playing games with your heart. They were a downgrade. You may decide to block this person because it seems like for some of you, they might be trying to cheat on their current person in order to be with you. And I'm pretty confident that's not something you want to be involved in. They know that they owe you an apology, but the reality is they're still thirsty. Still thirsty. All right, let's dive into those personal questions. Oh, that's easy. I blocked you for 30 minutes, Dexter. Does that help? All right. Really, though, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. But Dexter, if you comment on somebody's video, you're telling the algorithm that you would like to see more of my content. If you don't like my content, then I would strongly encourage you to not come back and comment. And Rachel, that is a very wise comment. If it starts with them cheating, it'll probably end with them cheating. All right, so we've got Llama up first. Is OD still thinking about marriage? No. We have the Chariot in the reverse and Death. This is someone who has, like, their heart is in a cage or, you know, in a safe. They have put a lot of effort into trying to hide this side of them. They don't want anybody to have access. They don't want to be vulnerable. Why the Queen of Wands in the reverse? I feel this is someone who has a fear of missing out. If I commit to somebody or if I'm in a monogamous relationship, then I don't have the ability to be looking out for other opportunities or other situations. Seven of Wands in the reverse. So this is someone who feels like marriage is too much work or always ends poorly. What are his feelings towards Llama, please? The Sun in the reverse, the Wheel of Fortune. I hear it is what it is. I think we have some sadness, but it's like, I don't want to register that. I'm just going to pretend that everything is fine. I don't need to have anything serious, but like one day I'm sad or even depressed over this. I don't want to like put a name to it. And then the next day I distract myself with something else. But this would be a person who lies to themselves about how they feel. I would say emotionally unavailable energy. We have Temperance and the Nine of Pentacles. I acknowledge that you're the kind of person, if I were to be in a relationship with someone, it would be you. But the issue here is it's really inconsistent energy. One day I want to be with you, the next day I just want to be by myself. There was a hidden relationship. What happened? Eight of Wands, King of Swords in the reverse, and the Page of Cups. Is this a new relationship? There's a new relationship. Four of Wands. So, is this committed? I feel like this is more of a situationship or somebody that is taking up the time of this individual, but I don't know that it's like, I'm going to get married to you, because this is someone who views marriage as kind of like doomed. Like, I don't know how people make it work for decades. Doesn't make sense to me, right? Hello, Stella. Hello, Lemonade. How we doing? We are on personal questions. I mean, that's a red flag. Why does it need to be secret? What are we hiding from? So you deserve better than that. Is this, how do I ask that? Who is the King of Cups? So there's emotion. OD feels emotion for you, feels perhaps even love for you. But this is someone who's very indecisive and then doesn't want to like fully commit. And you deserve somebody who would be proud to introduce you as their partner. Five of Cups in the reverse, Knight of Cups in the reverse. There is a lack of, what's the word, empathy here. Thinking about what is important to OD, not considering your feelings. So is there another romance in Llama's future? It depends on whether or not you stay focused on OD. If you choose to heal and release this situation, then you can find a different connection. But if you stay focused on OD, then it tells the universe, no, I'm not interested in something new. But this is someone who doesn't offer what you want or what you deserve. So the advice is to walk away from the person who's indecisive about you, because you deserve somebody who's decisive about you and willing to, even like brag about being with someone like you. Hello, Amit. How are you doing? Hello, Imported. How are you doing? All right. I wish you luck, Llama. Remember, you deserve to be with somebody who is respectful. And let's see what we've got for Burton. What does Victoria think about me after our call? What does Victoria think about me after our call? For Burton. Four of Wands. I see an increase in feelings. So things that seem to be like if they were trying to figure you out, this is someone who feels like you offer stability or you are a trustworthy individual. And we have the King of Swords or the King of Lightning. So you're seen as honest, a person with integrity. And we also have the Tower with the Page of Pentacles. This is someone who wants to invest in a connection with you, whether it's platonic or romantic. This is like, yeah, I would like to talk to you some more. I would like to understand more about you. Why the Tower? I think they're a little bit surprised with the feelings that they're feeling, the desire to make plans. And with the Nine of Cups or Nine of Potions, this is admiration, a desire for closeness. But this is someone who does not want to rush into anything. 10 of Pumpkins or 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the 10 of Potions or the 10 of Cups in the reverse. This is like, I really want to be cautious in terms of who I allow into my life and who I get close to. So Knight of Lightning or Knight of Swords in the reverse. The advice here is to be cautious in terms of how you time or pace your conversations with this person. They need time to process. They need time to understand what's going on and how they feel, or they might feel rushed. So positive, but take your time. No rushing. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, everyone, for the likes and the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you're able to, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.